Good day, folks. Welcome back to Ed's Garage at Bannister Hyundai. Today we're looking at a used vehicle, a 2021 Hyundai Ioniq plug-in hybrid in the preferred trim. Now the reason I'm doing this video is because, well, I've never done a video on the 21 plug-in hybrid, and I've got some clients that are interested in this vehicle, so I figured what better time to do a video on this rather interesting vehicle, actually. So the Ioniq originally came out in 2017 as a electric version, hybrid version, or plug-in hybrid version, and then they changed them up quite a bit for 2020. This is a 2021, the last year that they sold them in Canada, and it's got a lot of really great features, so I want to go over those things. I am going to be touching on some points on this vehicle just because it is a used vehicle and some people are interested in coming to look at it, but I want to make sure that if there's any damage, any scratches or whatever, I point those out. So this video is going to be a review of the features, but also I'm going to point out anything that I see wrong with the vehicle. So let's start at the front. So this, of course, being the mid trim, is very, very well equipped. It's not the top trim, but it has a ton of features nonetheless. Starting off, you can see we've got the LED daytime running lights stretching all the way from down here below the air intake vent for the air curtain. I'll talk about that in a minute, all the way to the top of the headlights. LED high beams and low beams there, and then the badge right here, you can see it's actually got the forward-facing radar system in there for the autonomous emergency braking system, as well as the adaptive cruise control. As far as the condition of the front of the vehicle, this vehicle was actually in a collision and has a $16,000 damage declaration, but it looks really good. I mean, yeah, the car's only got 10,700K on it, but whoever did the work on the front did an amazing job because it looks spectacular. I'm not seeing anything wrong with how it's been put back together. So we have aluminum alloy wheels here. So these are a 205 55 16, and the tires on there are actually Michelin tires. So really nice mud and snow rated all season tire. Right here is your charge ports. That's where you can plug in your level 2 J1772 charger. You can also use level 1 that came with the car, of course, and that's generally sufficient for most people. It'll do a full charge in around about 6 to 9 hours, roughly, so overnight you'll be fully charged up again. You can see we have the forward-facing camera in the windshield here. That, of course, is for the lane keep assistance, as well as the autonomous braking and adaptive cruise. It's using that camera and that forward-facing radar sort of in combination for all those things. Coming down the side here, you can see we've got blind spot monitor in the mirrors, marker lights on the mirrors as well. We have proximity entry and a little light that lights up in there when you turn the car on, when you approach the vehicle. This one does have the sunroof. Going further back, just looking down the side of this car, great condition, not seeing anything wrong with it. So this one here, this is the fuel door, but to open that, you actually do that from in here. So there's a little button right here, you press that, and that pops the fuel door open. And there it is. Now, one thing to point out, this does have an aluminum tailgate as well as an aluminum hood. So really, really light tailgate when you open it up. And it has a nice clunk when you close it. It just feels really premium, actually. Don't worry about the flickeriness there. That's not actually happening in real life. That's just the refresh rate of the camera, because these are LED lights, okay? So sometimes you'll see that with LED lights. On the back here, you can see we've got proximity sensors that will, of course, make the car beep when you get too close to an object. And you got the nice plug-in badge there. Now let's open up the trunk here just real quick. You can see we've got the backup camera right there. Tons of space back here. This is a 60-40 split rear bench, and there's a little bit more storage space underneath the floor, which is currently taken up by the privacy cover. That's right, you can actually put the privacy cover away when you're not using it, but otherwise it kind of locks in here and goes down these little rails here, so that's pretty cool. You can see the little cover here, that's not been put on properly. There we go. And then on this side is where your 12-volt battery is, so if you ever have a need to jump start, basically you just pop that open. This one does come with a tire mobility kit. There's no spare tire on these, of course, and there is the battery pack, so contained in there nicely. All right, let's have a look inside the vehicle. Actually, let's pop the hood and have a quick look under there. I'm going to try to do this all in one take, guys, just because it's freezing cold out here and I'm trying to be quick about it. So now, in case you're wondering why it's beeping like that, it's because I have the keys in my pocket, and every time you close the door, if you leave the keys in your pocket, you don't leave them in the car, it beeps you to warn you that, hey, the car is still running. All right, so as you can see here, a very, very light hood. Check this out. How many hoods can you do that with? That's a full aluminum hood. Still a 5-star crash safety rating though. It's a very, very safe vehicle. So you can see we've got our coolant on the left there, that's for the engine, and then our coolant on the right, that's for the electric motor. And there's a fuse box there. Of course, hybrid system. It's a 1.6 liter hybrid, or 1.6 liter engine, 4-cylinder, mated to a 6-speed dual clutch transmission that was specifically designed for this car. And it's bulletproof. It's been a really, really good system for us. The electric motor is about roughly 50 horsepower. And the combination of the engine and the electric motor, if memory serves, around 190 horsepower, if I remember correctly. So it's perfectly reasonable for this size of vehicle. All right, let's try sitting in the back seat here. Now, one nice thing, before I get in, I'm going to point out, it does have heated seats in the back seats as well, which is awesome. So if you do have anybody sitting in the back, they're going to be pretty comfortable. There, I got to get some of the snow off my shoes here. Okay. Now, I do have the front seat pretty much way back right now. I'll show you what I mean when I get in there, but I have room underneath the seat for my feet. The armrests on the doors are padded. There's enough headroom, and there's a center cup holder armrest here as well. So there's really only one competitor to this vehicle, and that would be the plug-in hybrid Prius. If you're looking at the 2021 Prius Prime, this one actually has more cabin space if you include both the front seats, the rear seats, and the trunk space. So Hyundai did a really good job there. We also use a lot more advanced high-strength steel construction. There's about roughly 55% advanced high-strength steel construction in this versus only about 35% on the Prius, if memory serves. So we don't have a CVT transmission, which is also nice. Plug-in range is similar, about the same, but fuel efficiency is actually slightly better in this vehicle. This is one of the most fuel-efficient vehicles on the road, and it's only about 4.4 liters per 100 kilometers, so it's just amazing. That means on your 50-liter tank, with the battery included, you're going to be able to go over 1,000 kilometers before needing to fuel up or charge. That's pretty awesome. All right, so having a look at the front seat now, you can see we have height adjustment on both seats. So the passenger seat also has the height adjustment, which is nice. But it is just manual seats in the front on this trim level. So let's get in and try this. And yeah, as you can see, I got plenty of legroom here. As a matter of fact, if I need to, I can go even further, but I don't need to because I would drive in this position here. And of course, height adjustment, as I mentioned, and lots of features in here. So I'm going to go ahead and close the door now. All right, take off my toque. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start on the left, kind of move to the center, and go from there. I'll show you absolutely everything that this car has. So let's start on the left here. So we can see, just scoot the camera underneath there. There's our dimmer switch. We have our blind spot monitor, lane keep assistance, electronic stability control and traction control, the button for the fuel door, the lockout for the charging handle. So basically, if this light's on, that means when the car is done charging, the charging handle will unlock. If you press this and turn that off, it will remain locked until you unlock the doors. This right here is for timed charging. So if you live in a place or province or state that charges more for electricity during the day than it does at night, you can set it up so that it only charges at night. But this is where you would kind of override that feature. So typical mirror and window controls, nothing too special there. On the steering wheel, you can see we've got the stock here for the turn signal. It does have the one-touch turn signal, so it flashes a few times, 3, 5, or 7 flashes. You got auto for your headlights. I usually turn them on so that, you know, that you get tail lights in the back as well. And then, of course, your high beams there as well. On the right-hand side is just your windshield wiper washer stock. Nothing too crazy there. But it does have a nice feature whereby when you turn on the washer, it will actually turn the recirculate on, assuming that's enabled. On the back of the steering wheel, you've got paddles here. That's for paddle shifting if you want. On the left side of the steering wheel, you've got all the audio controls. So it has the voice recognition button, but it does require a phone being connected for that to function. This one does not have built-in navigation. I apologize to the gentleman that I told did have built-in navigation. I couldn't remember. But yeah, in this trim, you have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, which will give you your navigation, but it doesn't have built-in navigation. So volume rocker, up, down, mute button as well, answer call, hang up call, next song, previous song, mode is where your music's coming from. On the right-hand side here, you can see we have our 2 buttons here to control this little screen, which honestly, I mean, there's a lot in there. I'm not going to cover that today, but you have below that the adaptive cruise control button. So that changes the distance that the car follows the car in front of it when you're using cruise control. That's pretty awesome. There is quite a bit in that little screen, guys. One that I'm on right now just shows my electric range and driving range. And if I press this button, it shows my lane keep assist, attention level, and then our user settings where we can kind of control how you want the car to do things. But that's as far as I'll go with that for now. Down here we have our heated steering wheel button. We have our heated seats for both sides, of course, and then you got the HEV button. So you can press that to put the vehicle into hybrid mode, electric mode, or automatic, where it just holds onto the EV mode until you're at lower speeds in the city and uses it in hybrid mode when you're on the highway. We have a power e-brake with an auto hold option here. So if you press the auto hold, turn that on, the car won't move when you lift off the brake. And then the e-brake is automatic as well. So when you put the car into drive, e-brake will turn itself off. In front of the shifter, you can see we've got a nice little storage compartment there, a couple of 12-volt outlets, and then a very nicely backlit USB port. Of course, that's for the connection to the screen. It'll also charge a phone, but it's mainly for Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, or if you want to play music from a flash drive. Above all that, we have our automatic dual zone climate control with the option to shut off the passenger side completely by putting it into driver only mode. A really nice automatic system that will auto defrost if necessary as well. We're going to skip the screen for the moment. We'll go up to the backup or the mirror here. You have buttons that are part of BlueLink. So this vehicle includes BlueLink connected services. So this would be for calling roadside assistance, Google navigation assistance if you're using Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. And then you have SOS button here. In case you have an emergency, you can press that. Now, BlueLink is free in Canada for 3 years, so this vehicle will actually have some of that outstanding still. It allows you to remotely start the car from your cell phone, lock the doors, unlock the doors, find the vehicle on a map, all from your cell phone. It's pretty cool. And then if you get into an accident, God forbid, it'll call emergency services to your location. It's pretty nice. Up here, you can see we have controls for our lights. Map lights are all LED, which is nice. You got the sunroof control here, spot for your sunglasses, and then both of the side visors actually slide out. They both have mirrors and they both have lights. And then the sunroof itself has a manual shade that closes, and of course the glass goes all the way back or it tilts up depending on how you want to do it. In the 8-inch screen here, it is a matte finish screen. It's non-polarized, which means you can use polarized sunglasses and still see the screen just fine. You have a customizable button here. I usually set that up for Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You got your plug-in hybrid vehicle screen, which is awesome because it can show you exactly how much energy you have available, how long it's going to take to charge up, that sort of thing. Even shows you an energy flow, where power is coming from and going to. Under the all menu section here, you can see we've got our phone system, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, BlueLink, which I talked about earlier, but gives you some vehicle diagnostics, maintenance information, that sort of thing. Radio access from there as well, or you can just press the radio button here. See, we have valet mode, which reduces access to the vehicle if you hand the keys over to a valet. And then under setup, this is where you would go to like set up your phone, change your audio settings, that sort of thing. You'll see here it has a Wi-Fi for phone projection because, this is pretty cool, it actually has wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I didn't realize that until I saw that icon. So you don't even need to use that USB port. You can set it up to do that wirelessly. Pretty awesome. Under climate here, you can see we've got a couple of, there's the auto defrost option. And then if we go into, let's go to general here. This is where you would do software updates for the screen using a flash drive. And you can also change language, keyboard options there as well. And then even in display, you can see we've got a blue light filter. We could turn on that so that at night it filters out blue light. And then a bunch of other cool options in here as well. So lots of configuration capability in here, which is awesome. All right, and I think, as I mentioned, I'm going to try to do this in one take. I think that's pretty much it. As you can see, I'm quite comfortable here. I actually owned a 2017 Ioniq Electric for 6 years before I bought my new car and absolutely loved it. It was the best car I had ever owned. up until, of course, I replaced it with another Ioniq, the Ioniq 6, which is now the best car I've ever owned. But yeah, this one was awesome. I have absolutely no complaints about it. It's a really, really nice vehicle, great fuel efficiency, good styling, and some great features. Anyway, I hope this video helped you out, and if you want to come check it out, by all means, comment below. I'm at Chilliwack, Bannister Hyundai in Chilliwack, British Columbia, and yeah, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, comment below. Take care.